And we are back for episode 2 of Chimp and Dale.
Oi, welcome back.
After 2 weeks.
2 weeks,
Made
yeah.
it back, didn't we? That's all right.
Made it back. It was, it was a little bit of time coming. We were going to do it last week, weren't we? But
yeah.
Busy.
Yeah, we was busy. Yeah, we had a lot
Working.
going on, didn't we? Working
We had a
and
lot
that,
going
so-
on. Trying to get over the football.
Yeah, get over that horrible loss. We were wrong on our predictions, obviously. We won't dwell on it too much because
Nah,
we were horribly wrong. But
horribly wrong.
over and done with.
Also, turns out that Mason Mount isn't a CDM.
No, as you got told. by your mates.
Yeah. How embarrassing. I did say we're not the best on football, are we?
No, we're not at all.
But
oh well, we gave it a go.
That's over and done with. The
Yeah.
fun is over. We
Yeah.
didn't even end up doing anything, did we?
No, we didn't. Where did we go? We went to one of our mates, didn't we?
Tooms.
Yeah, and we just watched it together, and he ended up falling asleep by half
Yeah,
time.
he was asleep by half time. He started a bit early, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
And
And
died
didn't
out.
go too well.
Nah. But yeah, devastating. But
Yeah. Oh well, boys done well.
boys done well.
Still got further than most teams.
Well, most
So-
England teams, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
so
furthest we've been in 55 years.
yeah, exactly.
Hopefully.
So come the World Cup, hopefully it'll be better by then.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
We'll just have to see what happens, mate.
Anyway, off of that,
Yeah.
on to new, bigger and better things.
Yeah. So how you been? What you been up to for the past couple of
Mate,
weeks?
been busy, been working
Yeah.
for your lot.
Yeah.
It's been busy, been hot in it.
Oh yeah, well hot.
Yeah.
It's been boiling.
Been too hot. I've been, not doing much to be honest. Last weekend I barely did it. I think I went to a family party.
Yeah.
That was alright. Quite
yeah.
nice.
And we went to the beach on Sunday, didn't we?
Oh yeah, we went to the beach.
Yeah, we had to
Oh yeah,
give
that was
up. We
sick,
went to
wasn't
Alien
it?
Island,
That
didn't
was
we?
good. I
It was
enjoyed
hot,
that.
mate. It was well hot. It was
Yeah.
good though. We had a really, really good time there.
Yeah, no, I had a good time.
I've
I
never
think
been there before. So.
I turned up late, didn't I?
Yeah,
it was
you
hot
were
that day,
Yeah,
wasn't
we
it?
got there at about 10:30. You didn't turn up till about 2.
Till about 2. No, I just didn't
I
get
got
out of
all
bed.
sunburnt and everything.
Yeah, you were bright
A
red.
couple of us did, didn't we? So,
Yeah, Jordan was sunburnt. No, Jordan was alright. Aaron was sunburnt.
Yeah, yeah.
But we had a sick time. We've got a boat that it's barely a boat, is it? It's like a inflatable.
It's a glorified dinghy with
Yeah,
an engine,
essentially,
isn't it?
it's essentially
So-
a dinghy in it.
Yeah,
But it's got a little engine on the back.
2.5 horsepower.
Oh, maybe that's
Why
all
would
you
want
need.
any more?
We were taking it out, and we took it out into the sea,
Yeah,
and it struggled, didn't it?
yeah, it did. Yeah.
It struggled even more when we had dragging 8 people behind it. There
Yeah,
was
'cause
4 on the boat.
Basically, what we did was we brought a dinghy and tied it to the back of it,
Yeah.
and we had like 2 or 3 people in the actual boat because that's what you can fit. You could probably fit 4 people in there, but still, it's a bit
At
hard
a
getting
push,
up
yeah.
in it. And yes, we just tied the back of this little tiny dinghy that we bought for 30 quid. Just tied that to the back of the boat and pulled us all along. It was, yeah. So
Well,
that engine was struggling when there was
Well,
8
it
of
was
us on there.
brilliant.
in the end.
When we were going against the tide, mate, it did
Yeah.
not
No, it didn't want to move at all.
look happy.
Ended up jumping off and swimming back.
And then we had that dinner.
Yeah.
That was
Oh, mate, I can't believe that. That was
Shocking,
right
wasn't it?
liberty, wasn't it? Yeah.
ended up going out to a restaurant, sitting there for an hour and 20 minutes for the starters, an hour for the mains,
Yeah.
and then we had puds.
Yeah. Which just we didn't get home till about 11 o'clock at night.
No.
I think we booked the table
It
for
was the-
7:30 as well.
Yeah.
Or 7. No. 7 we booked it for.
Anyway,
Here's what it is.
we have actually had a couple of comments, haven't we, from
Yeah, we have.
fans.
Yeah, well,
My
you say
cousin.
that. Yeah, your cousin. Yeah, your
Um,
cousin messaged us, said he was looking forward
Looking
to
forward
next
to
episode.
it. Yeah.
Big up, George.
Big up, George
Yeah,
Booch.
Cheers, mate.
They actually do a podcast, more than just a podcast. Bobby Moore,
The West Ham one.
West Ham
innit?
podcast.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't think he's actually on it at the minute. He's just had a
No.
baby, so.
Oh, is he? Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, he's a busy
good for
boy,
him.
but yeah, it's a good podcast. Go and give it a listen if you like West Ham.
Yeah, well, they've probably got more followers than we have.
Yeah, they have.
So,
Yeah, a fair few
by,
more as
by
well.
about 1,000, so.
But he's given us a few tips and tricks, things that we need to start sorting out. And
Yeah.
mate, we don't know what we're doing. Do
But
we?
some people have been alright with it, innit? They said
Well,
they
I quite
enjoy
liked
listening
it.
to it.
I listened back to it
So,
and I was
yeah.
surprised. We listened back. We tried to listen back to it on the car because
Yeah.
it takes us about an hour to get it. So we tried to listen back to it in the car, but they didn't send us the audio. And then by the time we got to where we were going, we were watching the football. So
Yeah. Yeah.
no one, we could barely hear it.
No, we couldn't, not at all.
But yeah, no, we
So-
ended up.
Been a lot going on this week. I don't know, it feels like a mad couple of weeks. I feel
It
like
has
there's
been a
lot
mad
going
couple of
on.
weeks.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of stuff and all that.
Have you?
Yeah, there's been loads going on, mate. You see that KSI done an interview with that Logan Paul?
Yeah, they're like
Yeah,
mates
he went
now.
onto his podcast.
Yeah, I
But they
saw
filmed
that.
it at that True Geordie's
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
Did you watch it?
Nah, I didn't watch it.
Mate,
I meant to watch it.
It was a really good watch. No, I'm happy for both of them.
I just haven't found the time.
I mean, it was like an hour and a half of them two just sort of
Waffling.
licking each other's asses.
Was it?
Yeah, they were both like trying to be really nice to each
Nice.
other just to prove that they're
Yeah.
friends now.
Yeah.
But no, it's really good to see it.
Oh,
mate,
mate,
in
that
all
is-
fairness.
That I reckon they've always been mates.
No, see, they did proper like. It wasn't Logan, that KSI. He couldn't stand him at one
Really?
point. Yeah, he could
No, I
not
don't really know
couldn't
much
stand
about
him.
it.
So yeah, I know more because I'm into the whole YouTube.
You
thing,
love it,
like,
don't you?
Yeah, I love keeping up with all that. I don't care. Before I said it was a guilty pleasure, but it's not. I just really enjoy it.
To be fair, I don't do much. I'm
So I
very
watch-
boring on
I
YouTube.
watch
though.
that more than I watch TV or something like that.
Mm.
So I'd rather watch that than sit there watching Love Island
Yeah, dead.
an hour a night because
My-
I just don't see the point in that.
No.
It's so boring.
In fairness, Charlotte's quite good with that. She knows I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not.
No.
I watched. Well, I can't. What's it? I watched the series with that Chris and Kem, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
liked. I liked
No,
that one.
See, I didn't watch
I liked
that, mate.
one. That was
I've
alright.
never really
but-
been into it. It's just not my sort of thing.
Yeah.
I used to watch like Geordie Shore and stuff
Mm.
when I was like a little bit younger, but even still, mate. it's
I
not
used to
really
love
my
it,
thing.
Geordie Shore.
Did you?
Yeah.
Who did you like?
I liked. This was way back, but that. Do you remember? It was like Scotty T.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, but you look like him.
Scotty.
You look like Scotty T's at a breakdown.
Yeah, you look like you let yourself go. I'm in before the Subway diet.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but yeah, no, I liked him. I can't even remember who was on it now. Years
Scotty,
ago.
Gaz,
There was all the originals.
what was his name?
Holly,
Holly, oi,
Charlotte.
Charlotte. Yeah. I can't remember. There was loads. What was the one who's become an MMA fighter?
Oh yeah, he weren't on it
Covered
when
in
I watched it. I
tats.
don't
No, he
think.
was in it. I think when I stopped watching it, he was pretty good. I quite liked him.
Talking about MMA,
What's
that
that?
Conor McGregor's ankle.
Oh yes, even that's happened. I nearly forgot about that. Mate, that was bad. That was rough. That.
I'm funny with things like that
Oh.
as well. I do not like broken bones. It's one thing that I've always, mate, it's even watching, like I can't see a picture of it. It makes me feel horrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't watch it.
No,
but
basically,
from
well,
what I've heard,
he got done in the first round, but the problem is with Conor, he's not the fighter everyone wants him to be or remembers him as he like
He-
when he was at his best, when he was like just absolutely obliterating everyone, was like 2016,
yeah,
2017,
a while back.
and now he's just not like that at all.
I think
anymore.
people-
he tried to
I
give it
always-
all the mouth and everything.
That's why I liked it.
yeah, but that's
'Cause
what he
he
was
was
trying
a
to
boy,
do to
wasn't he?
sell the fight.
Yeah,
And now he's just like, it's
he'll
just
end
not
up.
the same, mate.
I reckon he'll end up boxing.
Yeah, but he'll just do it to make the money. I get it because we'd all do it, but
He'll
he's
fight that
just-
Jake Paul.
Yeah, but
He'll fight that Jake Paul. If he recovers, he will fight that Jake
he's got
Paul.
a rod going through his leg now because he
Is he?
just
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. He won't be able to kick anything, will he? He'll have to box. But he's not a bad boxer.
he's not and he still went toe to toe with Mayweather. But
Yeah.
Logan Paul done a better job of boxing Mayweather than what he
Logan
did.
Paul's 6'2" and
Yeah, so
180 pounds.
it's not
whatever
about
it is.
the weight, is it? It's about like just how you box, how well you box. He's heavier. He still didn't chin him or knock him out,
No, it's
like
true.
knock him down or anything.
Yeah.
But he didn't get knocked down himself or
Yeah.
anything like that.
I reckon that.
Mayweather lost that fight. So
Yeah. Mayweather lost the fight.
sorry, Conor McGregor
I was
lost
gonna
the
say.
fight.
What fight was that?
No, I would have said Logan beat Mayweather
Yeah.
in that fight.
See, I'm not into that whole thing. Like
you
I
not?
do watch them, but
I watch it because it's fun to watch.
I don't understand. Like, if you want to watch boxing.
Yeah, I agree. I do.
Like I think if you paid to watch that Logan Paul KSI fight, you'd be fuming.
Really?
Unless you were well into YouTubers, you would have the
I'm coming from the side of the person that is. That's
that loves
why.
YouTubers.
Because
But it was scrappy.
it's-
It was like watching two geezers go out in a car park in front of a million people.
Yeah,
It was
I know what
poor.
you're saying.
Not that I've regularly watched two geezers. My phone again.
Yeah, mate, every
Oh,
time
sorry.
you've got to learn. I muted mine before we started.
Terrible behaviour. Sorry.
Just quickly mute it. We'll edit this bit out. It's fine.
Silly boys. That's the boys asking what's happening tonight.
But yeah,
not a lot.
we I watched that fight. I watched the first one and the second one. The first one was in Manchester. and
Did
I
you
do
pay
wish
for it?
No, I didn't. Obviously, don't tell them
No.
that. But
Did you stream it?
yeah, I can't remember, mate, because it was so long ago.
I just watched it the next day.
I think I watched it.
That's
the
what I
next
do
day.
with all of them.
But the first one, I remember watching it, and it was at Manchester, and I was like, I wanted to go watch it, and I didn't bother.
What,
'cause
buy
I thought,
tickets?
Yeah, because no one really wanted to go and watch it, so I left it. And then they drew, obviously, but they had all the headgear on and all this and that, and it was heavier gloves. It was like 10
Yeah.
ounce, I think, 10 or 12 ounce
dead.
gloves. So that's why the fight went to a draw, I think. And then the second fight was no headgear, 8 ounce gloves.
Yeah, but they both got their boxing licenses, didn't they?
They did, yeah. So
Professional
they done
boxing,
all everything.
Which is, well, mate, they trained, mate. They both looked
and that's
decent,
the thing.
But
why I watched it was because they both went through proper boxing
boot
training
camps.
camps. They didn't half-ass anything.
Nah.
They properly went through it.
But the technique, just like that KSI, mate, I like him as a bloke, but his technique was shocking.
I think,
not that again, I'm not a
from watching it,
I don't know anything about boxing, but
Logan Paul trained really hard to be a strategic boxer type to be able to come against anything that KSI was gonna come at him with. So KSI just went pure scrappy. He went for big windmilly,
all over, and
shit. That threw Logan Paul off because he didn't know how to deal with it.
Well, yeah,
and
but
even when he got,
but
on top
I
of
think
him,
if you're the thing is, if you're in a street fight and someone comes at you windmilling, no matter what, I don't know, if you're properly trained fighter, you'll drop them. But if you're like me and you'd weigh me and I'm 100% sure of it, size difference, you'd lump me out. But if I came running at you windmilling, you would struggle.
Yeah, but that's
probably
why he done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the idea, isn't it?
This is what I mean. Yeah, but then you're paying, which is fine if they're having a fight, but when you're paying 18 quid or whatever it is to watch it.
They done it for a tenner, I think.
They
didn't really do it for the money. In all fairness, their pay-per-view was a lot cheaper than... No, obviously they done it for the money, but they didn't... Like that, they done that YouTube versus TikToker one, and I think that was 50 quid, same as the Mayweather one. That was 50 quid.
I would not pay 50 quid.
No, of course you wouldn't.
I wouldn't pay 50 quid for a ticket.
For that tenner, you was watching loads of YouTube.
But this is what winds me up with all of this, is, okay, you have to stay up to watch it. If you just go to bed,
then you
wake up in the morning, it's on YouTube.
Yeah, but it's not
every
the same.
time.
It's the experience of watching it live, isn't it? Which is why a lot of people do it.
Yeah, I suppose.
No, I quite like it because there's quite a couple of YouTubers that I like.
No, I don't.
They're
Get
pretty
me wrong.
good boxers.
I'm not on it.
It's insane.
But
that KSI, I think he would beat most people because of his work rate. His work rate's insane.
Yeah, no, fair play.
He just quits YouTube, won't post any videos, won't do nothing. He'll just train, and that's it. And you'll hear from him once, twice, maybe. And then you see him at the weigh-ins, and you can tell he's putting the work. 'Cause he turns up and he's just shredded. He looks like a boxer.
Yeah.
He's not done loads of weightlifting and stuff. He's not built in the sense that he looks like he's been going and doing loads of bicep curls and push-ups. He's built like he's been doing the cardio and the pad work and everything, which is because it's two different types of training for your body.
Yeah,
it's completely different. That True Geordie switched from doing weightlifting and wanted to lose weight, so he took up boxing just as a hobby. And he said the punching, the shock going up his arm and stuff is just a completely different type of thing that his muscles had to deal with, different type of training that the muscles
something
got
that
to deal with.
I did this week. Me and you both go to the gym. We're not we're not fit, are we?
Speak for yourself.
Well, you ran 3.7k earlier and nearly had a heart attack. But
mate,
we're not fit. We're not. You're quite strong. I'm not massively strong.
No. I've got
but we do have pretty
body type.
Yeah, I think I don't know.
I literally, so basically that's just, I feel if I'm wrong then I'm going to get slated.
No, you are right.
Listening.
I did GCSE PE.
But I literally can put muscle on quickly, but I'm just fat. Yeah. I'm just big. Everything about me is big. I can't.
Apart from the arm.
But that's the type of body type I am. So I just find it easy to do that.
Yeah, so we both go to the gym. You're, like you say, you're an endomorph. I don't know what I am. Sort of somewhere in between. I just
Probably
lost in the cracks.
Well, yeah, you're just in between the middle and the what I am.
Not very tall. What am I, 5'11", 6 foot with shoes on.
Type.
Yeah, angry, angry like little man syndrome.
But yeah,
But I went to a farm, a family friend's farm, and they needed some hand hay baling. Bearing in mind, me and you work fairly strenuous jobs.
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
there's a lot of heavy lifting, shoveling, moving stuff, like heavy stuff.
80% of our job is literally moving materials,
shoveling shit. Which is
literally what it is.
But it's good laugh, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, I went to this farm thinking, piss this, hay bales, like moving hay bales from a trailer to literally just throwing them off a trailer. Yeah. Mate, I was battered.
Yeah, I bet.
Hard.
It's hard work, mate.
Which is like what you're saying with the boxing. You can be like Anthony Joshua, big, strong. He's sort of got both really, but you can be really fit in the gym, and then you come even if you came and did landscaping or carpentry.
Oh yeah, I've met people that are massive in the gym and lift loads of weights and do all that. Yeah,
it's different strength. It's a different type of strength. Even that Joe Rogan talks about it. He talks about it with this bloke who does just basically body weight fitness, which is calisthenics.
I'm not sure.
body weight training. I'll have to check.
Yeah.
I'm not going to check, but
Gonna
you know
get
what I mean.
slated
Yeah.
again.
But he also does things like if he finds a concrete block, he'll
Yeah.
use that, or if he and he said like it's called like farmer strength or builder strength.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like completely different.
Yeah.
And you're not just doing this
No,
or
It's
this.
using every
You're
other muscle,
moving,
yeah.
and that's a different
Yeah,
type.
it's
Which is that on
completely
it? If
different.
you follow that Joe Rogan, if anyone follows him, if you look at he does stuff for, I don't know whether it's him who owns it. I don't really understand, but there's a company called On It,
Yeah.
like ONNIT, and they sell like protein powders, I guess, and they sell like these nootropic things that are like supposed to make you wake up and feel better and like more switched on. But they also have an Instagram page where they just basically post videos of people doing workouts, and they're all like kettlebell workouts. Like, have you seen those? They look like, I can't remember. Like, they look like a sledgehammer almost with a ball instead of a hammer, and they're like throwing them about and that. And if you look at that stuff's pretty mad.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, anyway, back to what I was saying. They put in the work when they were training. That's why I rate it. Same as that Jake Paul. Look, everyone can hate him and say what they want about him, but in all fairness, mate, he's dropping people in the first round.
Mate,
most fighters now.
He looks better than that Logan.
And
as a fighter,
he's literally about to fight Tyron Woodley, who is like
a beast.
He is an animal.
I don't really know much about him. But
he is a great UFC fighter.
What are they having, a UFC fight or a boxing fight?
No, a boxing fight. But it's tricky. There's like
I think it would be unfair.
Weird loophole with boxing to MMA. Because any time, if you were to switch from boxing to MMA, I feel like you could win. There's still a bit of a chance, but it's not as likely. But if you swap from MMA to boxing, they always seem to lose. Always. I can't think of any.
I think it would be more unfair for a YouTuber to go and have a UFC fight with a UFC fighter than for a UFC, like them to go, like Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Like if it was like Logan Paul and Conor McGregor having a UFC fight.
Yeah,
like Conor McGregor
would do.
Conor McGregor would do. Oh, I don't know, because that Logan Paul's a wrestler. Okay,
mate.
Jake Paul.
No, he used to do wrestling as well.
Oh, okay, well, fuck me.
But
like,
no, but still,
like Mike
still
Malak.
Be good. You'd still watch it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but I reckon because there's more to it. There's kicks. There's like grappling.
Yeah, there's a lot more
wrestling.
To it,
Like if you do if you're Brazilian jiu-jitsu and that is what you do, you'll do. They would do over someone who's a boxer.
Course,
I think. Because there's more into it, isn't it?
Yeah.
But whereas boxing, like you can be good, not anything bad, or like boxing's harder than any. Like if you've ever done any form of boxing, it's so much harder than you think it is.
Yeah.
Like there's so much more to it.
It's a lot of thinking.
You could be the hardest geezer.
Just,
You could be the hardest geezer in your street, and if there's a lad who actually boxes, will do you in.
Yeah.
Unless you start windmilling.
Just start windmilling. It's a lot of thinking in boxing. It's a hard thing to learn.
Yeah.
It takes ages to learn. You ain't going to learn it overnight.
No.
It takes months. When you look at the improvement, that Jake Paul fought KSI's younger brother Deji first, and when you watch that fight, Jake Paul was getting battered by Deji at one point, and then literally because Deji didn't train properly, his cardio got the better of him, and he just gassed and then got battered in. By Jake Paul.
I'm not.
And then what?
See, I feel it's so unfair, like talking to you, like.
And then Jake Paul in the next fight works on his cardio big time.
Yeah.
Got better, beat that Gibb within one round.
Yeah.
Second fight, fought that Ben Askren again. He's
done him in. I watched that. He dropped him. There was a lot of controversy around that, wasn't there?
Oh mate, he literally lined up his shot, just pop. That's it. Gone.
But there was a lot. See, I think it's. I don't really know anything about Ben Askren. He's a wrestler, isn't he?
He's a wrestler. He used to be in the UFC.
Yeah.
He was a what's it called? He wasn't a UFC champion. He was in the other
like
MMA,
Bellator.
He was a Bellator champion. That's what it is.
Right.
So he done all that, and he is a good wrestler, a really really good wrestler.
Oh, fair play.
But he got done by Masvidal in a fight, and it is the quickest knockout in UFC history, where they literally ran out at each other. Bell went, Masvidal literally just ran at him, jumped in the air, kneed him straight
I've seen
in the head,
that, and he's
it.
gone.
Yeah, he's gone. He's out cold.
Was that quicker than McGregor thingy then? Really?
Yeah, I think it was.
What was that?
5 seconds or something.
Fucking
it was something so quick. Where I think Conor McGregor done Aldo in 13.
Yeah, it was 13.
Yeah.
It was 13. That was mad.
So
I remember being up watching that.
Yeah.
I was young then.
I love UFC and that and boxing. It's just good to watch.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I do like it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, mate. I go through stuff. I'm such a fad bloke.
Yeah.
Mate. Like, there's a couple of things that I do all the time.
Yeah.
But I've only recently got into a couple. But like, I play golf.
Yeah.
See, even I drop that out every couple of months because golf's is, mate. Yeah, I'm going to teach you how to play golf. That was like we said that,
I've
didn't
never
we?
even done it.
It is hard,
Is
and
it?
it's so you
Never
start
even
getting
played.
better, then something will go wrong and you can't figure it out, and then then it will get better, and then mate, it's fucking. And then you go and get training, you get a coach, or you get like an instructor, and it gets harder because they change your swing, they change everything, and then you're like, then mate, it's horrible, but. Love it. I'm playing Celtic Manor in a couple of weeks. Be decent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
boy. Going for 2 days with the boys. Not our boys. A couple of other
Different boys.
My cousin George, who shouted us out. I'm going with his mates.
Oh yeah. Nice. No,
I've
good, mate.
I've done a couple with
We
them.
do a bit of fishing, don't we? You like all that?
I like fishing. I really like fishing.
Yeah.
It's a weird one for me because before you look at the sports we did. Well, I did. I didn't really know you before, did I? But I played rugby for not that long, 4 years maybe less than that. I played at school and then I ended up joining the club.
Yeah.
And then I went out. But then I raced motocross for, how old am I now? 23.
Yeah, you were
literally
pretty good at that though, weren't you?
yeah.
You were really good at that, in all fairness.
And I started racing
I've seen.
enduros, and then I raced enduros in the Southeastern Championship. I got picked up by a company who were like looking after me, and that, a couple of other boys who I'm still quite good mates with, and that.
Yeah, nice.
They were quick. One of them, young lad, Eddie, mate, he's on it now, really quick.
Is he?
Yeah,
Nice.
good lad. I really like him as well. He's a proper, genuinely nice lad. And he just literally hadn't been riding that long, came on. I'd go out with him like twice a week. We'd go for a ride up. Next thing you know, me and him are in the same class. Mate, he's competing. Then like comes down to the end of the season. There's a point between us, and like I fight after 3 hours of racing. I find him in the woods, and I'm right battling him, overtake him. I'm like, this is for the championship. Like this is it. And I fell off on the last, like one of the last corners, and he overtook me. And as he overtook me, he went, "No!" like that. I was like, "Oh, what a boy!" And he'd done me in. And now he's like racing British Championship, like E2 class.
Really?
Yeah, mate, he's quick, proper nice lad.
Nice.
His cousin Max was like he was just good at enduro. He raced like the Southeastern, but he raced like the Championship, like the top boys. I don't know. I think he raced a couple of British. I don't really know, but and then he was a good motocross racer. And now he does like downhill mountain biking and stuff. But yeah, he was really good. But yeah, then I did like I say, and I've raced motocross. I did rugby, but all pretty hectic sports. And then I was still racing, and I had quite a few injuries, so I haven't done it for I haven't ridden for about a year, just sort of healing up and stuff. And also, I was self-employed for a little while, so if I crashed, I didn't get paid.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it went from being like every weekend, like pretty much hectic, or working or racing, to it was lockdown. There was nothing to do. Like lockdown was easing. And it was like, you can go fishing. And me and the boys were like, all right, let's just buy a couple of rods and go fishing. And we literally just went to the river a couple of days.
Yeah,
Like, I remember I went
well.
5 days on the trot and I did not catch a single fish. And I was like, I'm doing something wrong. And like Charlotte's my girlfriend. I think I said that before, didn't I?
Yeah.
He's well into it, and he's he's a proper good bloke, nice bloke. And like, if you said that, I said to him, I've started getting into fishing. That was it. He picked me up at 5 o'clock in the morning one day, took me fishing. Yeah, that was a sick day actually. I enjoyed that. We're gonna go again soon. But he was like, "Oh, you need to buy maggots," and I was like, "Oh," and he was like, "Nah, trust, you'll catch." And I was like, "All right." Went back to the same spot. We were going on the river with all the boys, mate. We were pulling fish out all night, little
Nice.
tiddlers. But after that, I was like, "Oh, this is sick."
Yeah.
And then
You're just happy to catch anything, when you first start.
Then I started getting a bit more into, this is properly boring, innit? But I'll just get through it quick. But I started getting into a bit of carp fishing. And I sort of nearly went off it. Like, I remember me and my mate Charlie pulled a fish out and it had like a busted lip.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, oh, fuck, I don't want to be doing that to the fish. And that.
Yeah.
Like, I feel bad. Anyway, we had like some carp care kit on us and we like put it on its lip and that and put it back. And then I said to the bloke, like, "Oh, I found a fish in there." And he was like, "Mate," he was like, "the best thing you can do is catch that fish and clean it up and put it back." He was like, "You probably just saved it."
Oh, nice.
So then I thought, actually, I'm sort of doing, like, because if you find them, I'm doing him a favour, done him a solid. But like, you find them, they have like little leeches on and shit. You pull them, like, you look after them and then put them back, which is decent. And then like, I've heard stories of people who have like saved whole lakes, like they've pulled a fish out that had like a bit of a disease, told the guy they've got rid of it, like got the fish like healed up and that, and then like started pulling more fish out with it and managed to save the lake.
Oh, that's good.
So it's decent. Like, then when I started hearing about that, I got into it, like well into it. And got a couple of rods in that. And then I remember the first time I went by myself, I was just sitting there all day. And I know it sounds well boring, but you're just sitting there in the sun. You got like a little cooker making a tea and that. And there's like, there's a chance you're going to catch, there's a chance you won't. And you think, oh, I was just like, this is well nice. Just peaceful, by yourself, turn your phone off. There's no signal anyway. Just sitting there, chilling, cold chilling. And I like that. It was decent. You got into it, didn't you?
Yeah, when we came out of lockdown. It was 4 or 5 of us when we went. Didn't catch a thing all day.
I caught 2 straight away, didn't I?
No, it wasn't that time. It was when we went on the river. We didn't catch a thing. Do you remember?
Yeah, that was a
well boring day. And then we ended up going again. Where did we go?
I took you to Willinghurst.
We went Willinghurst. That was it. That was a good day. I had one bite all day.
I saw Jimmy Bullard at Willinghurst.
Did you? Oh,
yeah, I think I said on the last one. I saw him.
I can't remember, but yeah, you said you just gave him a little.
The old above.
Just a
what
little
are you
nod.
doing? Oh,
Just that's it. That's all you want. I think if you see famous people out and about, you don't really want to go up to them and give them. I'm a massive fan because they're just.
Because I hate it when people do it to me. Do you know what I mean?
Well, the whole 100 views we had. You know what? I don't even care.
If
thanks
you
watched
for that.
the podcast, the last one, big up.
Yeah, no, look, like it was. Oh, mate, it was fun. I'm enjoying this one.
Yeah, good laugh, mate.
Yeah, it was sick. But
we're
thanks
just
for
two
watching.
blokes completely wafting utter rubbish.
So
we are gonna, as the episodes go, we'll speak about
got
more
some
structured stuff.
We're
we'll figure it out. We'll just figure it out as we're going, aren't we? We're just having a laugh, mate.
Maybe, yeah, we're just. Hopefully, we're having a laugh, sitting here talking.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they're enjoying it. But yeah, sorry, what we said. So I took you to Willinghurst.
Yeah, I had one bite all day. That was it, and then I
pulled 2 out like within 5.
Yeah, you did.
I said to you,
quick.
I felt bad actually because I sort of said to you like. There was when you sort of learn fishing, there's a thing called like, oh, mate, I'm gonna get rinsed for this, but it's called watercraft.
Yeah,
and you can sort of, mate, it's like if you have to be well good to actually know, like what you're talking about. And I like to think I know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I saw a little area for you that was like directly in front of you, an easy cast. Like I thought that was spot on, and I said to you, Del, go in there. And I was like, I'll just chuck mine to the right. Because there's a chance that I probably won't catch, but there's a good chance you will, and I can help you out. I caught 2 fish off the bat within like 20 minutes. I had 2 fish in the bag. I was like, "What?" And you didn't catch all day, did you?
I don't know. It's good though.
You get lucky
because you just have a good laugh and chill out. We just basically do this.
That was a bit cold that day though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It was freezing.
It was alright though.
You won like 100 quid. Did you win money then? You just decided to whack a bit of money on something, and you pulled like 70 quid in.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I get quite lucky in the old betting because I don't really do it often.
No.
And I'll put like
you do like little 50p's.
Yeah, everyone rinses me because you're like, why are you putting 50p on? What's the point? You're not good. Like, there's nothing. What's the point? You're not putting enough on. You're never going to get anything from it. But then I'll pull out like 70 quid from it, and I'm like, well,
who's the fool now?
Like, and then I've got to waste like another stupid amount of bets to be down. So
no, to be fair, you do well.
Yeah.
But then you do well.
And then I know when to stop.
Yeah.
That's the biggest.
Well, I just don't really like. The thing is,
because I know so many people that just whack on money.
Like when I went to, I'm going to talk to you about this actually. What were we in the middle of something, or can I?
No, it's fine, mate. I'll go for it.
Yeah, I'll talk about it then. Me and our friend Kurt, who we previously mentioned. Oh, he got he got gassed. He was like, "Where's his shout?" When I said to him, I was like, "Oh, we gave you a little shout out on the pod and that."
No, did he?
And he was like, "Where is it? Where is it?" And he made me screen record it, and he was like, "Oi!" But yeah,
he loves it. We just give him a little shout out every episode at some random point, so he has to watch the whole thing.
Yeah,
sorry,
but
mate,
I went to the literally it was after lock. I didn't even think you could go. It was when Chelsea were in the Champions League final.
Yeah,
and they won. We went to where did I go? Big Easy. Oi. Mate, that is banging.
Is it?
Oh, it is so good. We'll go there. We'll go.
Yeah.
But we went there and then went to a pub and it was shit. I can't even remember what it was called, but it was dead. And the bloke was a proper dick. Like we were ordering, Kurt ordered a Jaeger bomb, and on the app, and then the bloke came over with like 4 shots of Jaeger. We were like, "Can we have some bomb?" And he was like, "Yeah." He said, "But because it didn't go through on the app, you'll have to pay for the bomb." And we were like, "Right." So he brought over a can of Red Bull, put it in the things, and he was like, "That's £4.50." We were like, "What?
What, for a can of Red Bull?"
Yeah, we were like, "But we've paid for the shots." And he was like, "Yeah, but you've got to pay for the Red Bull." And I was like, "But we've ordered on the thing Jaeger bombs." He went, "Yeah, but it came through as the till. It's just shots of Jaeger." I was like, you're a fucking dickhead.
Yeah, I hate people like that.
And then we were like, let's get out of here. Where can we go?
If you're like an angry person, you just should not work in hospitality.
No.
If you can't stand...
Yeah, why would you not? What? But like even...
Because you just end up putting everyone else in a bad mood.
If someone said to me, look, I've bought... Because I worked in a pub, not for very long, but I did.
Yeah.
And someone said, look, I ordered Jaeger bombs, you've bought... I'll be like, yeah, all right, I'll go and get you a can of it. But what the fuck is it going to... Like, how much is it? I'll go and buy you another one for 90p, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But...
Go on.
Anyway, we got in there. We took... I've always said, like... I took 100 quid out. I said to Charlotte, look, 50 quid for you. I was like, if you lose it, you lose it, don't matter. If you win it, you give me some... You give me the... Say you win 100 quid, give me the 50 quid back, you keep the 50 quid. And then if she loses, it does whatever. And then I pulled 50 quid out. And that was what I was planning. That's what I do. And I go to a casino. I take 50 quid.
Well. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'll sit down and I'll spend the 50. If I win, I'll win, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, we sat down at a blackjack table. Jack Black. And the geezer was like, we put a fiver in, and he was like, nah, minimum bet's a tenner. And I was like, oh, where's the fiver one? He went, nah, this is the lowest one. I was like, fucking hell.
Jesus.
Which don't seem like a lot, but you play 5 hands, that's your 50 quid. Gone,
that's
bosh.
gone, yeah.
Well, Kurt sat down, but tenner, bosh, gone, all of his 50 quid.
What, he played 5 hands?
5 hands, lost every... No, he played 5 hands.
I thought you were saying he played 5 hands altogether.
No.
I was going to say, Jesus.
I lost all mine.
Yeah.
Kurt lost all his. This geezer, I'm sure he was doing us over. Because
Probably was,
everyone
mate.
was losing. But all the geezers were losing, the birds were winning.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? Anyway, he left, and this girl came in, and me and Kurt started winning. Anyway, I went and got some more money out.
Oh, I keep yawning. Sorry, mate.
That's all right.
No, it's not that. It's just I've been up early, and so I'm like a bit sleepy. Go on.
Anyway,
I'll go get a coffee down me in a minute. Wake me up.
Yeah, I might have one. We'll have a little break.
Yeah, we'll have a break in a bit. Go on, carry on.
What was it?
You said Kurt lost 5 hands, and then someone
Kurt lost 50 quid, and then I had like a little bit left. This woman came in. I started winning a bit, then I lost all of mine. And then Charlotte had done a bit. Chelsea had won a bit. Kurt's straight over to the cash machine, another 50 quid, puts it on, gone, lost it, 100 quid down the drain like that. You know what I mean? And anyway, I said he was like, I just want to have a beer. Like the people would not bring us a drink over. And then he went to sit down on the table, and it was like at the table, and it was like a drinks tray. And she was like, you can't sit there, that's a drinks tray. And he was like, he was battered, in fairness, we'd had a few. And he was like, I can't even get a fucking drink. Why can't I just sit on the drinks tray? And then he was like, I just want a fucking beer, because he'd lost all his money. And then, anyway, I ended up going over to the cash machine, because you had to pay in chips, and then the minimum takeout was 50 quid. So I got another 50 quid out, paid for the drinks, which was like 23 quid, or 25 quid for the drinks, for 4 drinks. And whatever, I didn't care. It was only 2 bottles of Peroni and a couple of cocktails. I was like, whatever, it don't matter. Went and sat down on the old roulette table, and Chelsea won, like Kurt's bird, won loads of money, like 180 quid. I was like, fucking hell. So I sat down, and I was watching it go like red, black, black, red, red, black. And I thought, something just said like, stick 25 quid on black. And I was like, I'm going to stick 25 quid on black. Done it, bosh, come in.
50 quid?
Yeah, 50. Boy. So I won 25 quid. So then I've put it on 2 rows. That one's come in. Yeah. Then I was like, fucking hell. All of a sudden, the fucking full whack, like I had like, I can't even remember, like 75 quid. Yeah. On red, waited, and it went black. I thought, right, that's it, bang. Put it on red, 75 quid, bosh, 150 quid. Nice. I was like, fucking hell, boy. And Kurt was fuming. Kurt was 100 quid down. I was 150 quid up. Charlotte had won like 30 quid, and Chelsea was going home with 180 sob. And he was like, this is bollocks. And then, because we were on the King's Road, we wanted to get a cab back to where my girlfriend lives. And it was like, the cab there was like 40 quid. Yeah. The cab back, they wanted 111 quid. Jeez. Because it was just after Chelsea had won the whatever it, Champions League, was it? Yeah. Well, that shows how much I know about fucking football. Didn't know she was playing. Yeah. And anyway, we ended up finding a cab for 70 quid. We jumped in it, got back. Kurt was in a Barbie. Was he? Yeah, he fell asleep in the cab. He was fuming. He was just not happy about it. But it was out in anger. Yeah, it was sick. It was a good night. But yeah. Oh, yeah, good mate. No, nice. Yeah. All right, should we have a little break? Little breather. We'll come back in 5 minutes. And we're back from having a break. Wait. Had a little coffee. No more yawning. No more tiredness. Delmo's back in the game. Back in the game. I'm ready to do it. I feel good, but up, but down, but ready to go. Second part. Part 2. We've had a bit of a we've had a bit of a chat, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've had a bit of a chat before. We thought that although the waffling and that is good, we do like doing it, and that is essentially what we're here to do. We do think that it needs a bit more context.
Yeah, because we don't really stick to a topic. We just tend to waffle and
I think
go off topic.
Yeah, I think so. What we're going to try and do is we're going to try and do part 1.
Yeah.
Which is before the break. Waffling, talking utter.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then part 2, we're going to try and get a bit of a subject going.
Yeah.
Something that we can actually sink our teeth into. And this sort of fell in our laps, really, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because I was having a conversation with a bloke who he was my carpentry instructor at college. And fuck knows, we used to get into conversations because basically he's a top bloke. He's funny, man. But he basically was the sort of bloke that that if you started getting him chatting about something, say you sat down in class, and this was obviously a little while back, but you sit down, you get your books out and that, and you think, oh, fucking can't be bothered. And like you'd be like, oi, John, what'd you do on the weekend, mate? And he'd be like, oh yeah, I had a sick week, and he'd just talk the whole hour. Next thing you know, it's break time. You're like, quality. And we started getting talking. I don't know how, but we started getting talking about ghosts and paranormal experiences.
So the second part of the podcast is going to be about
ghosts and paranormal experiences. That is so loud, isn't it? So yeah, we thought we'd give a bit of that bit of a go because we actually sat down and talked about it. Weirdly,
we was half cut.
Yeah, that's perfect. And we ended up started sort of talking about it, and it was weird because we both had. Well, I've never actually personally had an experience of it, and I sort of think it's bollocks.
I've had a couple.
There's a big part of me that thinks it's bollocks.
Yeah.
There's also a part of me that I've heard so many stories about it, and a couple of those stories have been from people that I actually trust. Like my college tutor, he was he was not like a young lad.
Yeah.
He must have been in his 50s, and he wasn't the sort of bloke that would he wouldn't take a shit. Like, you turn up, you got to be on time. If you're not on time, you're gone. Like, he run that college class regimented. So he's not the sort of bloke that would dick about and talk shit just to try and frighten you or whatever. And then I've also heard it from a mate of mine's dad. Which I'll tell this story a bit later on.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
And it fucking freaked me out because I thought, and I say him again, he's a proper geezer. He's a pub bloke, has a good job. He works hard. He's got a banging house. He's got kids that are my age, a bit older than me. And he's just not the sort of bloke that would bullshit about it.
Yeah.
And it just made me think, fucking hell, maybe there is a bit of truth to it. But personally, I've had things that you think, that's weird.
Yeah.
But then it was always in situations where, when I was younger, I used to go and do a lot of riding my bike around I lived quite near some woods. So we'd go in the woods and ride our bikes and make jumps, and you'd be like, I swear I just saw someone over there. Where the fuck are they gone? You'd be like, nah, it's just your sense. It's always in situations where your senses are heightened.
Yeah. That
made me think this is bollocks.
Yeah, your mind can play tricks on you.
And maybe
I don't know if it was that with me. It might have been. Mate, I was a kid. I was very young.
You told me a story.
Yeah.
And that made
I'm
me
happy to tell.
Feel weird. So I think what we should do.
Story,
I think what we should do is we should start with your story.
Yeah.
Have you got more than one, or have you just got the one?
Well,
or have you heard any?
It just ties in together. I've got a couple I've heard about, but
I think we'll start with yours.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there, and we'll let the people decide. But I know that you're if obviously you people don't know Dennis, but he's not the sort of bloke that would bullshit out.
No,
not really.
It's a bit weird. I don't know because I was a kid when this happened. I was 10, 11 maybe. So 11. I reckon I was 11. Maybe
so
12.
You're old enough to know what's going on.
Yeah, but
you're at secondary school.
Yeah, but I think it's 11 years ago, so it's quite a while.
A little bit more than that.
Well, nearly is. I'm nearly 24. But yeah, so I used to live in a house in Cheserton,
where we both grew up.
House. It was old. It was built around World War One sort of time, probably. It was probably older than that. It might be 1800s. I don't know, but
so it'd have been
we moved there, and it was nothing ever happened when we were first there. For the first few years, nothing ever happened. But when we started decorating the house and doing stuff to the house, small things would happen.
Yeah.
You'd hear creaks and things like that, and it was just weird. I don't know, but you don't really pay attention to it.
Where would you, what sort of creaks do you,
Stairs. There was a
banister. But at night or in the day?
Yeah, at night. No, at night.
Never in the day?
A couple of things happened during the day.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's fucks
when I
me
was on
up.
my own in the house. So I can't remember in order of what they happened, but it was all like the same sort of time period.
Yeah.
So I'll just rattle a couple off and let you know.
Yeah,
But
cool.
there was times when I was going to go out and meet a friend. I think we were going swimming
Yeah.
or something like that. I was going out just into town, something like that. And I was downstairs. All the windows were closed upstairs because I was getting ready to leave. I was the only one there. All the windows were closed.
Yeah.
Every single window in the house, every door, everything. I was getting ready to leave. I thought, I'll quickly go grab something from upstairs that I need. And my TV fell over and made a loud bang upstairs.
Fucking
It was on a stand.
But like,
I wouldn't even go upstairs and check. I was too scared. Couldn't go upstairs and check.
So
until I come home.
So your TV was on a stand.
My
so
TV was on a stand.
I'm just going to play devil's advocate because I do genuinely think that it's bollocks. Not your story, but like the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think that there is definitely some
you might
truth.
as well take that because some people are going to be watching it. Are going to be thinking this. Yeah, I'd rather you be.
Like I think that I've heard so much about there has to be, and I have a couple of weird ones. Like, oh, and actually I do have a thing that happened to me, and then like a couple of other people said things, but anyway, I'll tell that about later. But so your TV was on a stand.
So yeah,
but
just like
what
a
sort
normal
was it on a wall
glass
or?
stand. No, like just a normal stand where you'd have the TV on top of the stand, but you'd have there'd be like a little like separate stand underneath for like a DVD player or a PlayStation, Xbox, whatever, that sort of thing. And then there was like one more, and then it was on the floor.
Okay, so
does that make sense?
Again, to play devil's advocate, I had a TV, Samsung TV, in my front room, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Samsung, sorry, I didn't mean to dig you out, or whatever. But this is genuine. It was on the like the actual stand. So it was on we had like a wall unit thing that had like side DVDs and like you say a space for PS4 or whatever. But it was on the stand. That the TV came with. And basically what happened was, because it was in the front room near the window, where the sun was beaming in from the window constantly for like 5-10 years, however long we had the TV, it basically melted or like done the UV, affected the glue on the stand. And the stand just one day just snapped and the TV hit the deck at like 3 o'clock in the morning. My mum thought we were being burgled. We all ran downstairs. And it was just that had happened. Like when we sent the thing to Samsung, they said, it's a fault that happens with these stands. So they're
no, but it wasn't that. It was the stand that the TV came with,
right?
That you slot in, so it's not glued or anything like that.
No, that
it's
was
just in a stand, but the whole TV and the stand have fallen off.
Oh, the
Straight
glass
onto
thing
the
as
floor.
well.
Yeah, no, not the glass thing. That stayed.
So that is
I just
weird.
heard that bang, and I was like, "No, I was a kid. I won't go upstairs
fuck
to check
that.
stuff that. I mean, I might, I probably would now, but at the time, mate, I was terrified. There was no chance of me going upstairs to do that. You're happy you got to do that?
Yeah, sorry.
But mate, I was terrified.
Yeah,
and I think it's where the fear played on me as well, and it just felt like everything else was worse. Like the back door used to open on its own.
Really?
We'd be sitting there talking,
so
me and my family, and the back door would open. It'd be closed.
Yeah.
And it would just open. Like the door would just swing open on its own.
Fucking hell.
But you'd have to pull the handle. I remember the handle being stiff.
Yeah.
So you would have to pull it down to do it, but then it would just
swing open.
I don't get how. It wouldn't like slam open, but it would open and then just slowly creep up like that. And there was
So this story, just to let you know, this story gets fucking weird.
Yeah, it does get weirder as it goes on.
So that in itself is almost
It's just weird.
It could be that someone kept leaving the door open, but like how many times do you leave the back door open?
There was another time when I've got 2 brothers, 2 sisters, and like sometimes we'd all like sleep in one room and build forts and stuff and do stuff kids do, innit? Watch films or whatever.
Yeah, stand up.
And we've all fallen asleep in like one of the big rooms upstairs, just where we were kids, just playing around or whatever. But I was the last one awake watching a film. I think my brother was as well, or my sister. I can't remember.
What film were you watching?
I can't remember, mate. Kids film. Probably some Disney.
Nice.
I don't know.
Standard.
As if I can remember.
High School Musical.
12-year-old watching Disney. I don't know, do I? But and then there was a DVDs all on a like bookshelf in my sister's room. They shared a room, but it was both. Yeah, it was their room. And all of the it was like 6 or 7 of them had fallen off the shelf. Bearing in mind it's late, it's like midnight.
Yeah,
had fallen off the shelf onto the floor. So my mum's come upstairs going, "What are you doing?" And we're like, "What do you mean? What am I doing? We're all in here." She was like, what was that next door? And I said, none of us have been in there.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're a kid. Your mum doesn't believe you. She thinks you're tarting around. She's like, turn it all off and go to bed. And I was like, that was not us.
Yeah.
I was like, listen, it wasn't us. And she was just like, whatever. And there'd be other small stuff. I was downstairs making myself a drink in the kitchen. Bearing in mind, my kitchen was like in an L shape.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
where you're round at the fridge, you couldn't see round to the... Like, you could sort of like poke your head round and see the kitchen side. But I put my headphones on the kitchen side, made myself a drink. And as I was walking back round, my headphones just went like that and fell off the side. Like, they were literally like that. And then as I walked round, they were like here and just fell straight off.
Fucking hell.
And it was creepy, mate. So, and then the scariest thing that happened, and to this day, I stick by it happening. This is the big one, but it was, mate, I was terrified. Everyone else was... Go on then.
That noise is actually starting to freak me out a bit.
I was upstairs. My brothers and sisters all went to go stay at my nan's.
Yeah.
And I was on my own upstairs. I was on my
your
own.
mum and dad there?
Yeah, my mum and dad, they slept downstairs. They had a bedroom downstairs.
Oh, right.
Because there was just so many kids. We all slept upstairs. But, yeah, so there's 3 bedrooms upstairs. And I had the small room. So, also, which I didn't mention, this tiny box room, 3 of us have stayed in it. Out of me, my brothers and my sisters, because none of us liked staying in it.
Fucking hell.
We hated it. I don't know what it was about that room, but we all just felt weird sleeping in there, and none of us liked it. And I was laying in bed, and I could hear like rubber bands pinging. That's what it sounded like, and I was going, "What is that noise?" And it sounded like it was coming from in the loft.
Oh, fuck that!
But I didn't really acknowledge it, and I was like, "Oh, whatever." And then
when you say like rubber, but what, like pinging onto?
Yeah.
Oh,
like that. And I was like, "What is that?"
It wasn't like a pipe.
No. I've never heard a pipe make that noise.
Because you can hear like pipes creak.
But it's
when
never
they heat
made
up,
that
go
noise.
Tick, 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 tick.
And I was laying there ignoring it, watching TV. I had my TV on my wall of where my bed was, end of my bed. So I would like sleep like this way, and the TV was there.
Yeah, at the end, yeah.
So after, and I was watching it, and then randomly, out of nowhere, I heard from the loft.
What the
That was coming
fuck?
from the ceiling. I heard 3 loud bangs.
What the fuck?
And I was like, you don't bang like that. So I panicked. I ran straight downstairs and was like, what is that? There's someone in the loft. There's something in the loft. And my mum and dad were like, no, it's probably just pipes or whatever. And I was a kid, so my mum and dad were just trying to talk it out of me and make me ignore it. And I was like, I'm not sleeping up there. I wouldn't sleep up there. I couldn't. I was so scared. Yeah.
What? So it was like boff,
yeah,
like someone
loud,
jumping
like
on the ceiling.
Like,
Did anything move or anything? It was dark.
No, I didn't. I wasn't listening. Like, I didn't look up. I was terrified.
Fuck that, mate. That's giving me shivers.
Mate, I was absolutely terrified. I couldn't even sleep in that room.
Oh, don't like that.
I couldn't. I was terrified of that room. I wouldn't go back in there. And then, because just so much stuff happened, I don't know if my brothers and sisters ever really... We didn't really talk about it, but I don't know if anything ever happened to them. And eventually, they... my mum and dad had this bloke who was like a family friend come round.
Did they tell him what had happened?
No, they didn't. No, they didn't tell him a thing. He would come round and like done card reading. I mean, some people are going to think it's a load of waffle. So if you do skip this, because I can't be bothered to listen to people telling me I'm full of it. So just skip the next 10 minutes.
Skip it. It's going to be quality. Trust me, you want to stick around.
He walked in. Bear in mind, they don't tell him nothing because he will say, "I don't want to know anything. I'll come round and make my mind up myself."
Fucking hell.
So, and he also identifies colours of houses.
Yeah,
and will tell you what your house
what do you
means.
mean by that?
So he'll stand outside your house and he'll sort of look at it, and then he can tell you. He can sort of tell a history of the house.
Oh, what? So like the house is green.
Yeah,
it's nice.
So
like
he
yellow,
said our house. I
been
believe
nice.
I might be wrong, but he said our house was purple. So he said it's full of family. It's like a family home, and I can tell it's a very loving home.
Right, nice.
So which is nice, yeah.
Yeah.
So and he was walking.
You were
around
like bollocks. My dad's whipping me 3 times a week.
He was walking around and stuff like that.
Joking. Dale's dad never hit him. That was a joke.
And he said, he walked in, and I think he was just walking around the house and was having a look at everything. And he walked into that box room and was like,
"Oh, this is the room with the."
That room, where the banging happened, and he was he didn't know what happened. He didn't see it.
Yeah.
He didn't we didn't tell him that happened.
Yeah.
And we was like, he stopped and was staring at the corner where the banging was.
What, like at the ceiling?
No, just looking by where the corner of the bed was.
No.
I said, "Oh, there's a lady here."
Oh, fuck that.
Said it's an old lady.
No, I
But
don't like that.
She said apparently that was her bedroom. So I don't know if she died in that
Oh,
bedroom.
what? This lady said that. She said that to him.
And she said she doesn't like what we're doing to the house.
Oh,
Because we're decorating. So, which in my head, my mum and dad didn't tell me this till I was older, but they said it was every time we must have been decorating, she didn't like it. Any time we were doing stuff to the house, so she would get the hump, and that's when stuff was happening, which made sense in my head because it was all linking up. Because we had done loads. We had built an extension. We had torn the garden apart.
I've heard this before.
My dad said he'd done something like 17 skips to that house. The whole thing had basically been tore down and rebuilt. Which made sense in my head. And when, obviously I didn't know this till I was older, and my mum was like, oh my God. And a few things had happened with my mum.
What, that she didn't tell you about?
No. She
Not
didn't
until
tell
you were
us when
like
kids, not till I was older. But she used to have dreams she didn't tell this bloke this either, but he walked in, there was a fireplace in my mum and dad's bedroom.
Yeah.
An old fire, because it was a living room. But they turned it into a bedroom and just didn't use the fireplace. But he walked in and said, oh, your fireplace is like a bus stop.
Yeah.
That the ghosts would come through.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
See,
and
now
my mum
that's the
said,
sort of shit
look,
that makes
I've
me
had
think that's
dreams
bollocks.
where people have come through the fireplace.
What the swear?
Yeah, and they've had, like, she said that there was someone who walked around the bed, looked in my mum's face, like, over her, as she was, I'm going to get away from the mic, looked over as she was sleeping like that, and, like, would scream in her face. That happened once.
Fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, and this...
Oh, that's rancid.
And this bloke had to, he like showed her a way to sort of block it out so it'd stop happening, and it did. It stopped happening.
Put a stub ball in front of it.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Plastic.
I don't know. She's never told me, so I don't know. But
Don't
yeah,
like that.
so my mum found a way to try and block it out. But like, if you were on your own in the house, it always felt like there was something there. You never felt like you were on your own. It was so strange. And every night this was, or if not, it would only happen like maybe like every other night. Like 1 a.m. or something. We had a metal banister going up the stairs, like a little handrail. Every night, I'm sure of it, you would hear it pinging.
Well, like someone
was pinging it all the time, and it would happen about 3 times, and then it would just stop.
Oh, that is just not nice.
And I'd be like, I ain't going out there. I'm staying in here. There was just loads of stuff that used to happen that would freak me out. It put me off watching horror films and everything.
Yeah, I don't like horror films.
Mate, I couldn't watch horror films. Like, and now I'm older, I don't care.
Nah, I hate them.
And then, it wasn't... Oh, mate, it was terrible.
The thing that my mum said to me when I was a kid, because like when you're a kid, you fucking... Yeah. Now, I've heard mad shit as well. Like, sorry, I keep swearing. I don't mean to.
Yeah, stop it.
Can't help it.
You're supposed to be keeping it PG. I'm telling a horror story.
Builder though, ain't I? With it.
It's hard.
Goes up. But I've heard... So, I can't remember what I was listening to. But it was like kids see it more, or like kids can sense it more.
Yeah.
And like I've like mad stories of kids like remembering their past. And there was that kid, there was that one lad, James, I think. I didn't know him. He was some kid in America.
Yeah.
But he said to his parents, and he was like toddler, like, this isn't me. Like, I'm this bloke.
Yeah.
Like, I am this bloke.
Yeah.
And like, I died in the war, and I died here.
Really?
Yeah. He was like, I was shot in the head. I died here. And they were like, what? And he was like, I'm telling you, I died here. Like, I died in the war. I've been shot and I died. And they were like, what the fuck? And they got some bloke in, some like psychic reader or whatever, and he was like there's no like ghost or whatever.
Yeah.
They were like, I don't know how he's figured this out.
Yeah.
Anyway, he said he then told them like what his name was.
Yeah.
And was like, this was my name, like my first name. He obviously didn't know it all, but he was like, this was my first name. This is where I died, and this is how I died.
Yeah.
And then, like, as they were growing up, they remembered he had a scar in his head.
Yeah.
And they and I don't know if it's a video or whatever, but he had like a scar in the back of his head, and he said, I don't know if he ever actually said that he got shot in the head.
Yeah.
But he was like, I died on the battlefield here.
Yeah.
And
maybe they'd done a bit of research.
Did a bit of research, found out that there was a bloke called that name,
Yeah.
who died and was shot in the back of the head.
Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Like at the exact same thingy that he said, and where he was
we were
shot,
in the
they reckon
pub,
was
and it was
where
dead.
he had the scar.
And we ended
Mad.
up
Insane.
going.
How
we
do
were
you
like,
how
left,
do you
it was like
explain that?
11
Unless
o'clock.
that is all
We were like,
bollocks,
The other
we've got to
thing I
go
forgot to
somewhere.
mention.
I don't.
Sorry.
We were like,
This bloke who
no,
come
you
round
know,
and done
had
all
the
the
good
card
buzz
reading
going.
and that. Also,
Me and Kurt
he
have been
doesn't
knocking
take
back
money.
steins
Like, he
of
won't
whatever
charge
it
you
is, the
for
big
it. Yeah,
easy
'cause he's a
brew all
family
afternoon.
friend.
So
Yeah.
like
So he
2 pinters,
like-
we've done about 4 of them. We were like,
People that I
feeling
think
it,
have
get
to
the old
pay
buzz
for
on.
it. Like you see
And
him,
then we're
like
like, we've got to go
Brighton,
somewhere. Where are we
they've
going to
always
go?
got
And we
that
looked, and there
bloke
was,
who sits in
you know,
that,
like, have you ever been to a
old
Grosvenor
school
casino?
type of gypsy
Like Nessa?
thing?
There's just
But
like
that,
big,
like,
yeah,
I
it's
don't
basically
believe
like a
that
big
bloke
red,
will know
like
what
a
he's
big
going on
black
about.
triangle
You
that
can
sticks
call
out the
up
front
and
of it
pay
that says
15
casino
quid
on
an
the
hour.
side of it.
Yeah.
Gives it away.
Because I think if you
So we
could do
walked
it,
down
you should
there.
charge.
No,
And
yeah,
he
you
doesn't.
opened. He was like,
He never
yeah,
charged
yeah.
anyone.
We were
He
like,
was like,
oh,
he would only sort of do it
yeah,
for friends
we're
and
going
family,
there.
and he'd be like, look, if you want to do it,
we
you
didn't
can do it.
realise we were on the King's
And he
Road.
read my mum and dad's
So it was
cards.
like,
Now I
really
can't
dear.
remember
And
what
like,
he
we
said
sat
for
down,
my
we
mum.
got in, we got our little Grosvenor cards out,
I just
and
I
I had
can't.
one.
But
I've been
everything
like once
he
before.
said about her came
And
true.
Kurt had one.
The only thing I remember is
in.
he said one
And
of
we
her
took 100 quid
friends
out each. Yeah.
was basically going to do her over for something, or
Really?
stab her in the back somehow,
Oh.
and she did.
Oh,
She
really?
got done over by one of her really close friends. Yeah,
Fucking hell.
and he read all of my dad's cards.
And your old man was like, what? So load
No,
of shit.
right. So he was sitting there, and he
Your
was
dad's
going,
not like that, is he? He would
No,
have thought
but
it was
no,
bollocks.
yeah,
He would
my
have been
dad
sitting
said-
there
my
thinking
dad
this
said-
is bollocks.
Yeah, he did, 100%. I promise you.
Yeah.
If we ever have him on, I'll get him to.
Yeah,
talk
we're going to
about
have
it.
him on your old man's class.
But he said, he was like, no, it's a load of waffle, blah, blah, blah. And the bloke was sitting there telling my dad stuff about himself that my dad didn't even like. He hadn't told him anything.
Yeah.
My dad was like, how do you know all this? And because he could tell him. It
Fucking
was
hell.
weird. And he read my dad's cards, and he's sitting there going like this. He's going, oh, you're going to have an injury. I don't know what it is, but it's something work-related. He's like, I don't know what's going to happen. And he's like, and I can see the letter D. He's like, I don't know what it is, but I just feel a pain here when I'm thinking about it. So whole time, my dad's paranoid about work, thinking that someone at work's going to hurt him somehow, or he's going to have an accident.
Bearing in mind, your old man's like a gas and heating engineer.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, he's not like
No.
like a.
He doesn't
Like, he's
sit
not
in
up
an
on
office.
roofs,
No,
and he's
no.
not like
Oh,
up.
yeah,
You
he's
know
not-
what I mean?
yeah.
He's not like in danger
No.
unless he blows himself up.
Yeah, but it's not that sort. It's not like a massive high
No.
risk job like that where he's
No,
going to fall
works
off a
on-
ladder.
Yeah.
And then it is when I've been doing like a little bit of MMA training, as stupid as it sounds, and me and my dad were
Rolling.
yeah. So I wasn't like 11 or 12 at this point. I was like 16, I think. And
Probably
we
about
were like play fighting, joking around, and I got him in a lock with my legs round his neck and flipped him over. And because I was sleeping on like an inflatable bed at the time, because I broke my other bed, but I was sleeping on that. And as he's done it, he fell off the bed, and I landed on top of him, and that done his neck in. And literally, the bloke told him that it had something to do with the letter D. Bearing in mind, my name's Dennis. And it was literally his neck, and I nearly broke his neck.
Fuck.
And he was in pain for, mate, it was months it took him
What?
to get over it. It was so bad.
That's
I
mad.
remember it being, I remember it being really bad. And there was loads, and also at the end, he lets you ask one question that he'll be able to answer. I don't know why he only lets you ask one question, but he says, ask me one question, anything, and I'll answer it. And he said about my sister, because my sister used to do gymnastics, and he said, oh, will she ever do well in that? And he said, I can't remember if you pulled out cards or something, but he said, there's loads of gold for her doing her gymnastics, and she won loads of gold medals, loads of first places.
Really?
She was supposed to be in this Olympics that's happening now. It's a long story why she's not, but she was supposed to be, like, she was literally pitched to be going to this Olympics because
Really?
of how good she was. Yeah, it's nuts, and he knew it all before she was even doing anything like that. Before she was doing like massive competitions like that.
Yes.
And then I can't remember. I think my mum just asked if me and my brother were going to be okay.
Nah, they're both
Nah,
fucked.
nah. Write it off.
One of them's going to be shoved.
I don't know what he said. My mum just said, he said, yeah, we'll always be fine.
He said,
I don't know
you
what
were
he
like, what am
actually
I
said.
going to do? He was like, I see a lot of brown. A lot of brown. Basically shoveling mud. Nah, you're good, mate. You fucking, in fairness, underrated at what you do, ain't you? You're a good landscaper.
Yeah, I like to think I am.
Well,
I like to think I try my
no one
best.
else does, but... Nah, I'm
But
joking.
yeah,
you are good.
mate, it was insane. It was just, oh, mate, it's always stuck with me since.
Yeah,
But
that is mad.
I feel like it just brings bad luck having your cards read and things like that. It's just in my head.
I'd rather not know.
I wouldn't do it. I couldn't.
I'd
I'd
rather
want
not
to know.
This
but
is
I
like the
just-
old age saying, like, old age saying. What am I talking about? But like, if you could know the day you were going to die,
Yeah.
would you know?
Would you know it? No. Of course
I
you
wouldn't wanna know.
No, I wouldn't know. I'd rather just not know.
Yeah. Oh, like on that Jackmate podcast, I was listening to one. I was listening to one with Robbie Knox because he's going to be coming on, so I wanted to do a bit.
Hopefully we can get him on. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said he's up for it. So,
yeah. And I was listening to it, and it was like, if there was a book. So I'm not trying to rob it from them, but there was a book that you found, and it had your name on it, and it said like Louis' life or like Dennis's life.
Yeah.
And you open it up, and it basically says like, this is a book on your life. Everything that you've done has already happened.
Yeah.
If you can read it up to a point. Once you shut it, it's done.
Yeah. Well, you can't read anymore.
You can't read anymore.
Yeah.
Like once you shut it, that's it.
Yeah.
Would you read it? You can read
Well,
like
as far
halfway.
as you
You can
want.
read 2 pages, but would you read? And
Well,
bearing in
past-
mind, you can't change what's going to happen because it is your life.
So it's got your whole life up until now and past it.
And past it till the
See,
day
no,
you
but
die.
if I was going to read it, I'd just read up until now. I
Bearing
wouldn't
in
read
mind, you
past
cannot
it.
change it.
No, I wouldn't read past now, like this second.
Would you not?
Up
Like
to
a
the
couple of
point me
days?
reading-
Or...
No, I wouldn't, because I
Really?
wouldn't want to. No, I'm just not. I wouldn't I wouldn't tempt fate. I'm not that sort of
Nah,
person. 'Cause
because
I think
like
everything.
I wouldn't read it.
No.
I wouldn't bother reading my past
No, oh, see, I would just
because
to
I know
think
it.
about Yeah,
I know what
but
happened.
I don't know. It's just nice.
I'd
I
like to
think.
read back on like the school days.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, proper laugh and
Stuff like just little things when you're a kid that you might not remember and things like that.
But I
'Cause if it's all in
wouldn't
that
wanna
book, I'd read it.
because what happens if you flip the page and you're
Yeah.
dying tomorrow?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know, mate.
You get hit
It's
by a bus,
so-
and then you're
yeah,
walking out. You have to walk out in the middle of the road knowing you're going to get hit by that bus.
Yeah.
At least you ain't got to go to work on Monday, I suppose. Yeah, right, isn't it?
Yeah, but there'd be no more Chimp and Del.
Well, that'd be Dell, wouldn't it?
Might be doing people a favour.
Yeah, in fairness.
But yeah, that's all my paranormal experience.
So I've got a couple. I had one that happened to me that I'm not sure about. I completely forgot about it, by the way, until you started talking about it. But there's been a couple of things that you just think, like, don't know. But the big one that sticks out in my mind, I've got 2 that stick out in my mind, and they're 2 that have been told by other people. So I've got 3 really. Where I'll tell. They're all pretty quick. The first one I'll tell you about is my mate's dad who told me about this.
Yeah.
And I've got pictures.
Oh, really?
I'll try and find them. I can't. They're not on my phone.
Yeah.
But if I can find them, we'll put them up, and it is mad. If we can't put them up on the video, we'll put them up on the Insta.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
as long as the bloke doesn't have a problem with me doing it.
Yeah, but yeah, just ask.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's fine.
it's essentially I can't remember exactly, but it was like his mate's mum's funeral, and like they were all there, obviously. And it was at I'm pretty sure it was at like a nursing home or like a Whitley Village type, you know, where like it's just a place for old people. And anyway, they had like a chapel there, and basically she died. He was in the what's it called? Ceremony, is it? Oh, I guess.
What? The funeral?
Yeah, he was at the funeral, but he was
Yeah.
like in the bit where they're like talking and like I guess it was like, I don't know how. I've only ever been to one.
Yeah, I've not really been to that many funerals.
But I think
I'm quite lucky.
Yeah.
But yeah, go on.
I think maybe it was like an open casket or something, and I
Yeah.
don't know. But they were all like, people were walking about, and anyway, talking and whatever. And I guess that it was like just before the thing was going to start, he was like, I've got to have a break. Like, it's just getting a bit much. I'm going to go for a fag. So he walked out the front of the chapel, and it was like dark. It was like winter time, so it was dark. And then it was like, I'll try and find a picture, but there's like 3 steps, and then like a gravel pathway that runs through, and grass each side, and then street lights that run down the side of the pathway, like actual street lights. And he said that some woman just like almost out of nowhere approached him, and he said like she looked like a nurse, like like a carer, but she had like a really, and this sounds like bollocks, but she had like a really old uniform on, and I've got the picture of her. The picture is of her, right?
Okay.
But she had bright red, like almost like DMs on, but like bright red, like lipstick red DMs, which is weird. Like a nurse wouldn't be walking around in lipstick red DMs, and he thought like, what the fuck? And she sort of came up to him and was like, who's in there? And he was like, oh, it's my mum. She passed away and it's her funeral. And she was like, oh, don't worry, they look after him here. And then she turned around and walked off.
Yeah.
And he said that he remembers her being like, he felt like comforted by her, but like something weren't right.
Yeah.
So as she started walking off, he got his phone out and took a picture of her. And like the first picture, you can see it, but it looks like everything else is in like focus.
Yeah.
But her, there's like fuzz around the.
Yeah, yeah.
Then the next picture, like the top, but like bearing in mind this whole thing's lit, like you can see like lit, but like you can see the whole way down. She starts like fading out, but these boots are still bright red, like you can properly see these boots. And then the next one, she's gone, like you can barely see her, she's gone, and it's like from here to like it's like 10 meters, like you'd be able to see them.
Yeah.
But she'd like just disappeared. And he was like, I feel really weird about it. And like I'll try and get the pictures. If the bloke's alright with me having them, then I'll put them up. But,
yeah, we'll do it. We'll put.
But he was like, that's fucking odd, isn't it? And then he went in and told everyone. They were like bollocks. And he was like, look at the pictures. And then I can't remember whether someone said like, oh, like yeah, people have said that before.
Really? What? This woman walks around?
Well, apparently she was like the story is that she was like an old nurse.
Yeah.
Actually, I've just thought I've got another one. I've got another story.
We'll get to it.
Yeah. That like obviously caring for people and that. But this is so anyway. That's that story basically, which is fucking weird. That is weird.
Yeah.
But the thing that made that ring so true for me is, if my mum died and I was at her funeral, I wouldn't remember the day. I would be. You'd be in such tatters that like a little thing like that, like some woman coming and saying, "Oh, who's in there?" You just forget that.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Even,
the fact that he remembers that, like on the day of his mother's funeral, is weird.
Yeah.
The fact that he's got photos of it and you can actually see her disappearing into the distance is fucking weird.
No, it's weird.
And like, why is she wearing bright red boots? And why is she wearing like a carer's uniform that is from years ago? Fucked.
Yeah.
But then, so that sort of thing. When I was a kid, my mum always said to me like, I was worried about ghosts or whatever. Like as you are, like monsters and ghosts. My mum said to me, why do you think that ghosts are bad? And I was like, she went, they're just people. If they're real, they're just people.
Yeah.
So they might not be bad. They'll probably just be nice. And that stopped me worrying about it. And then that was quite a nice one. But then I've had some fucked up ones.
Yeah, it's because I think we watch a lot of horror movies as well.
Where there's like, oh, they're going to kill you.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's always put into a bad situation. You're always brought into it. Because what can you do to a ghost? You can't do anything. You can't punch it.
No.
It's not. You
You're
can't
fucked.
do nothing. Yeah. It's
But
just, that's what it is. It scares you.
So I'll quickly get on to the next one.
Yeah.
So this is the one that my college tutor told me. And again, it's pretty short. But he lives in like a little village.
Yeah.
Not anywhere near here. I don't want to say where, but he like lives in a little village, and basically there's like a road that leads all the way up, and then at the top of the village is like a castle-y type thing, like a big manor house. And he was driving up the road, and he saw this like really old person in the middle of the road, but like walking in the middle of the road. And he said that this road used to be like a cobble street, so the road's a bit rough or whatever. And he thought, that's weird. Why are they walking like bang in the middle of the road? And like because it was an old cobble street, it was like it's really tight. So he like moved over to let this like. He said he thought it was a bloke, and then as he got closer, he could see it was like a woman with really grey hair, like hunched over. And he was like, she looked like she was really struggling. So he was going to pull up and be like, "Oh, where are you going? I'll give you a lift." And he sort of like started getting closer, and he said like she just kept coming like closer and closer and closer to the car. He said, and then as he got like up so close that he was like the front of the car had gone past her. And it was like at the A pillar. She was at the A pillar, and he like drove up, went to lean out the window to talk to her, and she was gone.
Really?
Like as she got to the A pillar and he started driving, went to lean out the window, no one was there.
Jeez.
He was like, "What the fuck?" And he panicked and drove off. I was like, "You shouldn't run her over." He was like, "No, I'm telling you, like she was gone." She looked at him and then went, and that was it.
No.
And then he like was reading up. Apparently, that manor house years ago there was a massive fire in the village down below, like where he lived, and like a lot of the people that lived in this village worked in the manor house.
Yeah.
So she obviously saw this fire. Her kids and that were at home.
Yeah.
This is the story. Tried coming up, like out of the manor house to go and get her kids, and her kids died in the fire. And then she ended up, I guess, dying in the fire or whatever. But and like there's been like a few sightings of it, and he said it was so vivid that he like can tell you like her face.
Really?
And then literally she just like she was just gone, and he like looked about and then panicked and drove off. I thought that's weird. But then I believe little ones like that more.
Yeah.
Because that's that is odd.
Yeah. It's just strange. I don't know. There's got to be something like that must happen when people die.
Yeah.
They say.
But then, like, I'm quite practical, like you.
Yeah.
So, like, in my head, it just can't. Like, how can it?
Doesn't add up,
like,
does it?
When you're a kid, you think, when I die, like, what am I going to do? I'm going to, mate. When you like, have you ever been knocked out?
Not really, no.
Oh, proper hard, didn't you?
No,
but like,
no.
if you've ever been knocked out, I have been knocked out 2-3 times. Never like in a fight or whatever, but like
Yeah.
crashing motorbikes
Yeah,
and falling
no,
over and
yeah.
whacking me head. When you wake up, it's like there's nothing. Have you never been like had a surgery
Yeah.
and it's
yeah, I
like
know what you're saying.
bang, you're away?
Yeah.
Nothing. There's nothing.
No.
So like
Yeah.
when you die, there's nothing. You're dead.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I
Oh
don't
well,
know.
I don't know.
We won't know, will we?
No, I guess you'll never
No.
find out. But
No.
so that's that one.
You just
Which
like
is
to
a bit
think
odd,
there's
so
something
you
good
can-
that happens. But
Yeah. So now these two are ones that happened to me. I completely forgot about them until we started talking about it.
Yeah.
They weren't that relevant, really. There's
Yeah.
one that actually now thinking back is scared the fucking living shit out of me. Yeah, I remember that was actually pretty bad. But what was I talking about before? Oh, the one. So the first one, I was working as security at Cheshunt Model Ventures. Mate,
Yeah.
sick job, proper. I talked about it before.
Yeah,
Mate,
you
that
did,
was
yeah, you
sick.
spoke about it in the last
But
one.
like part of my job, you got paid more money if you did the night shift. It was like
Yeah.
£12 an hour, and I
Yeah.
was like 18. I was
Yeah.
like, fucking, I'll
Fit
do
you
night
up,
shift.
yeah.
10 hours. Is it?
Absolutely
think-
loads of money.
Yeah, I think you start the night shift at like 8 and finish at 8 in the morning. So it's like 12 hours at £12 an hour.
Yeah.
Decent money in it. Try and figure that out. It's like over 100. It's like 150 quid in it.
What?
Something like that.
12 times 8.
12 times 12.
12 times 12. 144.
144.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that. Chippy and I good at maths. But anyway. Yeah, so I was working the night shift and I'd heard stories. So like, have you ever been? You've been to Cheshunt Adventures.
Yeah.
For those of you who
Went
haven't
yesterday.
been, yeah. So for those of you, for those of you who haven't been, Cheshunt World Adventures is built on Henry VIII's old ground. He had a house there.
Yeah.
You know Hocus Pocus Hall.
You know the house? Yeah. That.
It was
what
like a
used to be
hunting
Hocus-
ground.
No, that house. I used to work with a bloke whose family used to own that house.
Really? What
Yeah,
Hocus
yeah.
Pocus?
Shout out Alex Barker if you're watching. But
Big
yeah,
up.
his family used to. You know where we done the work, that decking, and you said about the lady.
Yeah.
Her family. That's who it was.
Oh really?
Yeah, her family used to own
Ah.
that house on Cheshunt World Adventures.
Oh right.
They used
Didn't
to
know
own that big manor house.
Ah,
But yeah, sorry,
nice.
go on, mate.
So yeah, that manor house was essentially Henry. So that the ground all around, obviously long before Cheshunt Wild Adventures was a thing, there was a hunting ground for Henry VIII, and it burnt down. And it's like you can read about it. Or loads of maids and stuff got stuck inside
Yeah.
because obviously those houses are all wood and fucking straw or whatever they were, and it literally burnt down. And they all got stuck inside, and loads of maids and shit died.
Jesus.
Like yeah, it's a proper thing. You can read about it, and there's been so when you go in, Hocus Pocus Hall is like the bottom bit. So for those of you who don't know Hocus Pocus Hall, it's like a mirror
It's
maze.
changed now. It's not even that anymore.
Is it not?
No, they've changed it to another kid's book.
Have
It's
they?
Yeah. It's the same concept
Yeah,
of
yeah.
walking around.
So it's essentially like it's like there's some funny bits in there. There's like a mirror maze. You've got to
Yeah.
get through it. It's a bit weird. It's decent, like if you're a
Yeah.
kid and whatever. But then above that is the control room for the security
yeah.
and all the like offices and stuff. And it's still all proper old school, like an old school manor house. So it's got like the wooden staircase and the carpet, like the thin runs and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's all still like pretty original. And there's been loads of people. So when it was rebuilt like a bit higher.
Yeah.
And there's been loads of people that have seen women, like maids, but like half of
Yeah.
them, like floating almost,
Really?
like it through the windows. So like you think like if you're a person, you stand at the window, it's like here, yeah. They were like here, and that's supposedly where it was built higher. They're still stuck on the like lower
Oh,
floor,
I see.
Right.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
and they like you. And I still swear that I saw something. Like I was so you get 3 jobs. So the control room upstairs that basically gets shut down for the night. Then you walk around park, and you can do a night in the control room, but then you can also do a night at the business park,
Yeah.
which is freaky as fuck, but it's not haunted. But I remember walking around site. You drive around in a van, and then you get out, and like I used to go and talk to the sea lions because it was jokes. Like you'd shout his name, and he'd be like, "Ooh." It was sick. And you're basically there to make sure there's nobody else on park, make sure that no animals get out. Is essentially what your job is.
Yeah.
And then I remember looking up at it, and it was dark, but I swear I saw something up there.
Yeah.
Like, and I thought, oh, there must be someone still in control.
Yeah.
So I radioed up, and because a lot of my mates worked up there, so I was like, oh, who's up there? Nothing. I was like, hello? Nothing. And then my mate that was back at Thingy was like, where are you? I was like, I'm walking around outside Thingy. He went, oh, that's weird. He said the camera just got triggered up at Thing, like near Hocus Pocus Hall. I was like, really? I said, I swear I just saw someone up there. He was like, oh, we'll go and have a look. Went up there, no one there. yeah, that was
I would
weird.
not be going up there
And
by
then
myself.
I've heard stories of like people say, like, oh, I'm gonna go put the kettle on. Do you want a drink? And they'll be like, yeah. And then they go in and the kettle's on.
Really?
Yeah, and they're like, and there was a bloke who I'm still mates with who used to say like, oh, thank you to the ghost and that, like to the ghost. He'd say like, thank you and like be polite. He said, but there's been loads of people that have seen shit, like people half like maids like floating about, like people, whether it's true or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was freaky. And then my last story, I completely forgot about this, but it's mad. Like actually thinking about it, I don't know how I forgot about it, but I've said it before. Remember when I said when I lived at that PGL place?
Yeah.
It was actually a really old manor house. It wasn't PGL that I worked for.
I think I've heard about this.
It was called Woodrow.
Yeah.
And it was sick. Like the house was sick. A proper old school manor house.
Yeah.
Huge. Owned by like some general in the army back in the like 1700s, whatever. And what happened, and this is a true story, like, mate, like, so true to the fact, like, you can go into the lady's bedroom, and the hidden cabinet in the story is there. Like, you can go in there, and it's like proper old school built, like old school timber, old school like cut nails, or whatever it was back then. Like, it's proper. I tell you what they did. They did a Taskmaster, and that James Acaster, and they were all in there, and it was like a dome. And they were all in the little dome thing, and they had to like try and get stuff through the top of the dome. That was it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'll tell you the story. So basically, the story goes. I'll tell you the background story, and then I'll tell you what actually happened to me. Right. So the story goes that the house was owned by a general in the army, and he had a wife called Lady something, and they had loads of maids and staff that lived in the house and worked in the house. And he basically went off to war. To battle or whatever, and he evaded. He like, what's it called when you do a runner?
What? When you do a runner from the army?
Yeah.
Deserter, aren't you?
Deserter,
Yeah.
Is that it? Deserted.
Yeah, you're just a deserter.
He basically came like fucked off and came back panicking.
Yeah.
And he like rode his horse or whatever back to the manor house and said to his wife like, I've done a runner, like you've got to hide me because back then if they found you they'd
kill you,
cut your head off.
Yeah, straight away, yeah.
And she was like, shit, all right. And they put him down in that dome thing, which was like the original like cellar, like before there was fridges and stuff. You'd put food in there to keep it cool, like marble dome.
Yeah.
So she put him down in there, and he was hiding there in like the midst of winter, so it must have been fucking freezing.
Yeah.
And she was basically taking him food every day. So she'd say to like the maid lady, like, can you make me food? And then she'd take him the food. Like walk it, and so basically the manor house is a big green, which is still there. You walk out the front, and then you go like across a bridge, which is over like a little river, and then you turn right, and this dome thing's like hidden underneath like quite a bit of grass. So she was doing that every day, taking him food, coming back, doing her thing, whatever. And there's also in those woods, there's a load of trees. I can't remember what they are. They might be willow or oak or something, but they have like little red berries on.
Yeah.
Don't eat those red berries. They're cyanide. They actually are. That's what they are.
Yeah.
Cyanide. So they used to back then like squeeze it all out into a little bottle so they could fucking do people over or whatever. And anyway, so then one day she went to take him food and it was snowing.
Yeah.
So she'd walked across and come back and the footprints were there.
Yeah.
And the maid got like a little bit suspicious. She was like, oh, I'm done for the day, whatever, go in. And she walked and had a look in the hole in the top and saw matey in there sleeping. And was like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, and obviously everyone had heard that he deserted from the army at this point. The people had been round looking for him, like, where the fuck is he? Like, is he here? They were like, no one's seen him.
Yeah.
We don't know where he's gone. So she obviously knew about it. Anyway, this lady and this maid didn't get on. So this maid went and told the army, mate, he's in there, go and find him. So the next day or the next couple of days or whatever, she's gone to take this bloke food. And as she walks over the bridge, his head is on a stick on the bridge.
No.
The army have found him, cut his head off, stuck it on a stick on the bridge. So she's like gone mad, like lost her shit, gone back into her bedroom, opened the little secret hidden cupboard and drunk the cyanide, killed herself. And she dressed up in all black before she killed herself for like a funeral, drank it, killed herself. And this is a like true thing, you can genuinely read up about it.
Yeah.
It's like The Haunting of Woodrow High House or something it's called. It's fucking mad.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was the story, right? So we lived in the coach house next to the manor house, but if there was nobody staying in the manor house, so that was like where you stayed if you went for the holiday or whatever.
Yeah.
You stayed in the manor house. So if there was no one there, we had free reign in the house. We could do whatever we want. So we'd go and play like hide and seek in the manor house and shit, and like go and run around and play like whatever tag. There was like downstairs, there was like a disco bit for the kids.
Yeah.
There was like a little tuck shop. We used to go in there, like put the music on, put the lights on, have a few beers, or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, one night we were in there and we were playing hide and seek, and I hid in like the where our office was, and I was hiding behind the desk, and I saw. So it was like nighttime, but all the lights were on. And I saw somebody like walk past, and I thought, what the fuck? And I hid. And I thought, that was weird. And it was like a shadow, like a black. And I thought, fuck, like they'd run past. But then I thought, there's no footsteps. Like, because I was like sitting out looking, like waiting to see, like hear somebody coming, then I'll hide. And then just went woof, like that across. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I thought, oh, it must just be someone, like whatever. So I'm hidden. And then the girl that was looking for us was called Hayley, and she was like a big Scottish, like proper quality laugh, like top laugh. But she's not the sort of girl who was like,
would get frightened easily.
Frightened, nah. She was like a proper. You wouldn't fuck with her. She'd probably drop you, that sort of girl. You know what I mean? Quality, top laugh. Anyway, she started fucking shouting, like, what the fuck? And she was like screaming our name. She was like, come, quick, fuck the game, like come here. And we all ran out. And I was like, you all right? She was like, yeah. I thought she'd like broken her ankle or something. And I was like, you all right? And she was like, I just saw the lady. I was like, what? She was like, I saw her, all black. She walked across in front of me.
No.
I was like, shut up. She was like, I swear to God. And I was like, nah. I was like,
She's messing with your head.
She was like, yeah. But like, she was like sobbing, and like, I'm fucking telling you, I saw it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, fuck, like that is weird. And we got everyone out hiding. We were like, fuck this, let's just go back to ours, have a party. And then like I had a night there where I was, somebody would always have to stay in the manor house at night if there was people there, because anything happens, whatever, they can knock on the door and say, oh, someone's been sick, can you come and clean it up, sort of thing, or like someone's shit on the floor, which was always happening. And I was staying there, and her room, so like the lady's room, was above where I was staying, and I could hear like dush, dush, not like loud. Like I thought, oh, there's some fucking kids messing about upstairs, and it's my job to go and tell them to shut up, whatever.
Yeah.
And these people were like 15, 16. They weren't like kids.
Oh, yeah.
And I walked out.
You boring kid,
no, yes, and I walked upstairs, and there was like these couple of lads, and they were like, I was only like 18 at the time, so they weren't much younger than me. And I was like, boys, you all right? I said, they were like, yeah. They were like, there's some noise coming from up there. And I was like, yeah, I thought I heard that. And they were like, and the boiler room weren't far away. I said, oh, it's probably the boiler room. And they were like, do you want to go and check? Because it sounds like fucking someone's having a mare in there.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'll go and have a look. And they like sort of followed behind me. And you couldn't hear it, but I was just like, oh. And I opened the door to the lady's room, and the fucking cabinet was open.
Really?
Like the secret cabinet thing was open. And I thought maybe we'd left it open.
Yeah.
Like when we were messing about in there or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I thought, like, what the fuck? Like there was a proper like they said, like there's a commotion going on in that room. Like there's something's going on in that room. There was no one in there. And so basically when you go into the house, it's like rows of rooms. And in the manor, when her bedroom, the lady's bedroom, when you walk up the stairs, it's like you go up another like 3 steps, and then the bedroom's there.
Yeah.
And then there's like a big office that they can't go in, which is for like RT meetings, and stuff.
Yeah.
So we had 2 offices, one where like all the computers and shit. Then there was like a main help area, and then there was an office upstairs where we did like all of our training, and like if people came, like professionals came, we'd sit in there and talk to them. So there was no one staying in there, and no one stays in the ladies' room apart from staff. And I was like, what the fuck? And they were like, mate, like it sounded like someone was having a mare in there, like someone was like having a like someone was having a nightmare or something, and like screaming and like ah, and there was like noises and shit. And I was like, swear. They were like, mate, telling you. And I was like, oh, don't worry about it. It was probably someone messing about with you or whatever. Yeah. And they were like, but obviously they didn't know that story.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? And then also people would say like, they'd come out and there'd be like footprints in the grass and shit. And like snow, if there was snow, there'd be footprints in the snow.
Yeah.
But then there's people walking about, like, because we lived on campus, you could just go for a run or whatever. So they just put it down to that.
Yeah.
But they said, nah, like, some messed up shit. We actually did, like, one of our jobs was to do a ghost walk.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, it was supposed to be, like, a bit of fun, whatever. And, like kids, like we go into the dome at night.
Hmm.
Oh, I've got to catch my breath.
Yeah.
And like, sorry, I've been talking like fucking non-stop for an hour. Like kids would just start crying, like, oh, something
Really?
touched me, like, oh, and you'd be like, oh, shut up, like, but like,
Kids just
not
messing
kids,
about.
like, not kids, like,
What, like
we didn't
16?
do like, well, like 14, 15,
Yeah,
16,
yeah.
with like girls would just like burst into tears and be like, oh, something touched me, I swear, and you'd be like,
Yeah.
nah, but that was, mate, when I saw that, her name, I can't tell her name, but like when I saw her face and she was like, I'm telling you, I saw her,
You
and
really
I
said her
thought
name?
I'd already seen, did I?
Yeah.
Did I? What was her name?
Hannah.
Huh?
Hannah.
No, well, that's not a name.
Oh, is it not?
No.
Did you make it up?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, you must
Did
have.
I say her
You
name?
definitely said the name Hannah at one point.
Oh, I didn't mean that.
Oh.
Well, that's not a name anyway. But her name does start with an H. But this late, like, I thought I'd seen something. That's what freaks me out. But what makes it weird is it wasn't in the daytime, but all the lights were on, and it was like a, you know when you're like not really paying attention, but like
Yeah.
when something crosses, you're like, you can, and then you look over and it'd be like a person, or you could hear someone
Yeah,
walking,
yeah,
or like
yeah.
someone's having it. And it was just like out the corner. I was like looking.
Phone started ringing and made me jump.
Sorry, I was like looking, and like out the corner of my eye, it went like woof, and I was like, whoa, and
Yeah.
I thought, fuck, I'm gonna get caught, and then I thought, that's weird. There's no footsteps. I
Yeah.
remember specifically being like, that's weird. There's no, like, you would have thought I'd heard them coming,
Yeah.
and then I started thinking to myself like maybe they were creeping, but then it came across so quick,
Yeah, yeah.
and like where the office was, where I was, the downstairs bit, the stairs are like, so when you walk into the manor house, you go through the front door, there's like a corridor that goes down over here to like the basement bit or whatever, and then there's another one, then the kitchen's here, then there's like a little room here for like messing about and whatever, and then there's like the dining room, but the stairs are like there. So when you walk through the front door, the office with all the computers and stuff in, which is like where the manager sat during the day, was here, and then the stairs were there, and I was hiding in that office, and this thing came like woof, past, and then she was upstairs and started going, oh, I've seen it, as I've seen this thing like
Was it
walk
not
past.
kids just messing around though?
No, there was
saying
no
that
kids
they-
there.
No, but I'm saying like with you lot, because obviously you're only 18, aren't you?
Well, the girl that was doing it, they
Yeah.
were all older than me. They were like my managers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And she was like sobbing, like in tears, like, I'm telling you, I saw it, I saw it. And I was like, nah. But she was like, I'm telling you, I'm not lying. Like, because that's what makes it weird is where, like, if it was real, she's walked up the stairs, gone like across. Haley's been like, look, oh, I said her name.
We'll edit it out.
Yeah.
Try and cut it out.
She's been like in a bedroom, come out and seen this thing like, poof, like go. And she's like, oh, fuck, like, quick, come, like. She's the sort of person who, if she thought that was someone hiding, she'd have gone over there and like gone like, "Wee, whoa, I got ya," and she started crying. Like, why would you cry? And she was like a big butch, like, "I'm gonna mess you up." Like,
I don't know, mate. Yeah, there's a lot of unexplained stuff like that happens. isn't
that
there?
was weird.
What?
That was.
Oh, you meant what I was
No,
just
no,
saying.
you're fine.
I was like, what? Is there something behind
Yeah,
me?
no. Oh my god, no, fuck.
Yeah, no, mate. There's a lot of stuff. Oh, it's good though. It's a good little talking subject, isn't it? It gets people thinking.
But then, me personally, I think all of that's explainable.
I want to think is explainable, and it's all rubbish, and there's something else.
The picture, I'll get that picture. If I
We'll
can.
get the pictures. We'll put them on the Instagram.
That's one that makes me think it's weird. That story when I was in the high house, mate, like, it could have been her imagination playing up, but then I thought I saw something as well. That's what makes it weird. But then it could have been anything. It could have been a coat falling off, or like, there is just stuff laying about.
Yeah.
Could have been anything.
Could have been anything. We'll leave it up to
Could have
everyone's
been the
minds to
lady.
decide themselves what they think.
Yeah, there was multiple like people that said they heard stuff
Yeah.
in that room, like all the time. It would happen. And you think, well,
That's for the listeners to decide now, isn't it?
yeah, do a bit of research if you want. I think,
look them
I
up.
don't know. I'll try and think of the story of the. I don't know whether I can say the name of the place. I
The other thing I didn't say about that bloke who looks at houses and says the colour. He said there was one in Cheserton. People might know it. He wouldn't tell us. He wouldn't tell my mum and dad what house it was. Because he says he can do the colours.
Yeah.
He looked at a house and said it was bleeding.
What the fuck? What mine was it?
It might be.
Cool.
He said he wouldn't tell anyone what house
Was
it
the
was.
kebab
'cause
shop?
He said he went in that house and he sensed some stuff that was so bad that had happened there.
Really?
He wouldn't tell anyone what it was. Wouldn't tell anyone what house it was. Wouldn't say nothing. Wouldn't even tell.
No.
He was really close friends with my auntie, basically, and wouldn't
Yeah.
even tell her. Wouldn't tell her what it was in case because he was just like, I don't want anything to do with it. He didn't like being there, nothing.
No, don't.
Imagine you get told your house is bleeding. I'd be like,
Sell it.
sell up.
Yeah.
We're out of here.
Throw a wrap around on it and get it gone.
Right, I think we should wrap up, mate.
Yeah.
We've been
Do a
going
bit
for
of
a while
research.
now, haven't we? But look it up yourselves,
Yeah,
people, if you're
I think
interested.
The house that
You
I'm
think we're
talking
talking a load
about
of
in that
waffle?
last one was called,
Yeah.
it is called Woodrow High House. I don't know whether I can say that or not.
No, well, why
It'd
not?
be
People
alright,
can look
innit?
it up, can't
Yeah.
they?
But then look it up. It's called, I guess it's, I don't know whether it was
Same
called
with the one
Woodrow
in
High House
Chesterton,
back
isn't it?
then.
Look
but
up
yeah.
the-
Look
I
up the
don't know.
haunting of Woodrow High
I
House.
can't remember what the manor was called in Cheshunt Adventures. You'd have to look that up as well, but I'm sure if you look it up, you can
Oh,
probably
it would have been
find a
Hocus
couple of-
Pocus Hall.
No, but it's not. Obviously, it wasn't called that. It was called something else.
Yeah. Well, we can figure it out. And
Let me have a
tell
look.
the
I'll have a
people.
look on the old Google quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, keep talking while I have a look.
Yeah. So, what have we got coming up? Me and Dale are going to the pub after this.
We are definitely going to the pub after this.
We've actually also done an hour and a half, and we only paid for an hour.
Yeah, don't tell no one.
Naughty bags. But what are you going to do? So yeah, coming up next, I think we're going to try and do one. I'm away this Monday. I'm going to Alton Towers tomorrow.
Yeah, you are, aren't you?
Yeah, it'd be decent. Looking forward to that. My girlfriend got me that for my birthday, so that'll be good.
Big
Then I'm working all this week. You're working all this
I'm
week,
working
and then
all
so
this
we might try and bang another one
We're gonna
out
try and squeeze one in
next
didn't
weekend.
we?
We can try and get them on.
Yeah,
Booch
definitely.
might come on.
Hopefully, we can try and get a guest for next time. It'd be
Yeah,
good
we'll
just
get
to
a
have someone
guest.
else just to talk to.
Interesting.
Fun.
And then we're going to try and do, like I said before, we're going to try and do the first half talking about
Yeah,
what's been
waffle,
going on,
and then we'll actually have a subject in the
like
second
this.
half.
Because this has been
Yeah,
good,
this
hasn't
has been a good laugh. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let us know what you think. Let us know
it?
if you think.
Let
it
us
was
know.
a
Yeah,
good
let us
listen.
know what you think.
And obviously,
All
yeah,
of our 6 subscribers.
Yeah, we need to have a couple of likes, a couple of subscribers.
Yeah,
all
share
that.
it with your mates.
Good,
Tell
yeah,
your mum.
Good to get it
Tell your
out
dad.
there.
Give it to
For
people.
everyone,
let
it's for
them know.
everyone, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Listen,
yeah,
we enjoy making it. As you enjoy
Definitely.
listening to it, we'll keep doing it. So.
wouldn't be bad if we could get something out of it, so we stop having to pay for it.
Yeah, it
ourselves.
does cost us a small fortune, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How much
does a
have we
little
done
bit.
already? Like 120 quid?
Yeah.
Mother.
Yeah.
But worth it, innit?
I mean, let's be honest. Any money we make is probably going to go straight back into the
Yeah.
podcast. It's not.
We're never
going to
make any money
ourselves.
either. It's
No.
not, we're not lucky enough.
No, but we're not doing it. I just want to do it as a hobby. I'm not bothered about
Yeah.
making money out
What
of
you
it.
think? You
I
go
just, if
fishing
I
for a
could
day
do
and
this
30
for free,
Yeah.
I'd be happy.
Yeah.
That's good enough for me. I'll be happy with that. But
Well,
we'll have to see what
Fingers
happens.
crossed. Anyway,
Yeah.
thank you very much,
Thanks
everyone, for listening.
guys.
We'll be back hopefully next week.
Yeah.
It depends when this comes out. I'm going to
Yeah.
edit it so it could come out. Hopefully, we're going to try and make it midweek, I'd say.
Yeah.
Because it's going to take a couple of days.
Yeah.
But yeah, next week we'll try and get another one in,
Mhm.
and hopefully we'll have someone here with us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
take
like
care,
we said
guys.
before. Like we said before, sorry to interrupt, but like we
No.
said before, if you want to come on, just send a message.
Yeah. Drop a message on the Instagram. Comment.
You don't have to
whatever
pay
you
for
want.
nothing. We'll
No.
bring you up here and
Do whatever.
whatever. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks very much for listening. Chimp
Take
and
care,
Dell.
guys.
Back at it again. What
Yeah.
does this one do?
You happy with that? Are you?
Oh, I'm well happy with
we
that.
need to do a bit of this one. All right.
Right.
Take care,
Yeah,
guys.
take it easy.
See you
Cheers.
soon.
Bye bye.